variety of issues that impact the local business environment. This is where we address the business topics that matter. Here's your host, Anita Khan.
Good morning and welcome to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz. This is our first segment for a brand new year, 2023. I'm Anita Khan, as you just heard, and it's a pleasure to be back on the Buzz. We took a break from December, and this is our first segment, as I mentioned. We have almost a full house today. But before we get into, we put the spotlight on our guest this morning, I want to say thank you to Tucker Cayman, Tucker Restaurant and Bar for bringing us Taco Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday. Now, who does not like taco? Well, it's a rhetorical question. You don't have to. Our guests will have to answer. We 2-for-1 tacos and margaritas every Tuesday at Tucker Restaurant and Bar, both locations. Now, this is our Tucker giveaway. All you have to do is listen to the trivia question and be the lucky caller with the correct answer when we pick our winner right after the 8 a.m. news around 8:15 or so. One winner will receive a gift certificate to Tucker Restaurant that can be used at either location, East End or West Bay, any day, not just on Taco Tuesdays. So let's see what the trivia is straight off the bat. What does eating black-eyed peas on New Year's Eve represent for the new year? What does eating black-eyed peas on New Year's Eve represent for the new year? And I'll give you a hint. When you wish someone a happy new year, you generally wish this for them as well. So don't call now, please. Call around 8:15 or so. You can reach us on 1-800-534-8255, 949-8037, or 949-6990 if you know the answer. But please do not call now because we have our guest in the studio and we have to put the spotlight on Lands and Survey Department. Good morning.
Good morning.
We have two gentlemen and one lady. Young woman in the room this morning, and I'll have them introduce themselves. The gentleman next to me, my left. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Michael Whiteman. I'm the Deputy Director of Lands and Survey.
Good morning, Michael.
Yes, Michael.
Mike. Most people call you Mike. Yeah. I'm sure.
Good morning, Miss Anita.
Good
my
morning.
name is Uche Obi, and I'm the Director of Lands and Survey.
Okay, good morning. Good to have you both in the studio. And
good morning, Sophia Williams, Registrar of Lands.
Good morning, Sophia. Now, big things are going to happen this year for Lands and Survey. 50-year celebration.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Because Lands and Survey was formed in 1972. So
1972.
really, our 50th anniversary was last year, but there were so many things going on within the department, so we're not able to celebrate. So now we really want to go all out and celebrate the department, what it's done for the island, and what we've achieved over the last 50 years, plus the staff that have made it possible. We want to be able to acknowledge the staff that's made it possible through the celebration.
Well, before we get into the anniversary celebration, let's talk a little bit about the Lands and Survey Department itself. Now, what is the main function of Lands and Survey?
The Lands and Survey is made up of 5 sections. So I'm going to go over the sections that I work closely with, and Mike will talk about survey and the NGIS, and Sophia will talk about the land registry section, which is in charge of. So it's made up of the Valuation and Estates Office, the Admin and Finance section, the Land Service section, the National Geographic Information Systems section, and the Land Registry section. The Valuation Office is responsible for managing property, leasing property, acquisitions of property for public purposes like schools, and we're also involved in acquiring properties for roads. So whenever the NRA needs to build a road, we would go in there and acquire it for them. We're also responsible for stamp duty assessment, which is one of the biggest revenues within the department. So anytime there's a sale of a property, we would assess the consideration and make sure it's either close to the market value or consideration stated, and then stamp duty is charged on that. The admin and finance section supports all the other sections, and they're really responsible for collecting all the payments, like the revenues, and whenever we need to buy anything, we go to them. And then Mike will talk about the survey section.
Yes, in the land survey section, our main goal is defining land boundaries. Now, this can range from the boundaries of a road to a property that government's interested in purchasing, or to find the boundaries for construction. If, for example, you want to put a new building up, you have to ensure that it's within your land boundaries. We also deal with hydrographic and aerial photography. Now, the aerial photography is done every 4 to 5 years, and it gives us a historical record of what the physical structures and features of the island have been over the years. Now, we have images going back to 1947.
Wow.
Not very good.
That was before the time drone, before we had drone, right?
Yes, we were.
Okay.
Just happened to be a U.S. Army plane was flying over and went click, 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 and they sent it to us. Now, again, hydrographic was, UK Hydro was down in November 21, where they surveyed the seabed, something we've never had before. And we're very grateful for them for the effort and money spent. Now we have an idea of what's going on underwater. And we're not even sure how it's going to evolve, but we know it's valuable information and will be put to use.
Pity we didn't have a before. You know?
The seabed doesn't change that much.
Okay.
Now we also have the National Geographic Information System. What they do is collate all the information, for example, the aerial photography, the registry information, land values, sales, utilities, and put it in a format that is very user-friendly for the public. So somebody can come in on their computer, ask to see certain layers, and investigate and see what's going on for these hidden utilities and other things like that. And then finally we have the land registry, which I'll pass over to Sophia.
Yeah.
Hi, Sophia.
Hi. The land registry really is responsible for over all the ownership of land within the 3 islands. So we keep all the records of ownership and interest in land. So if persons want to transfer, they want to get a mortgage, all the dealings are with us. So the process is that we guarantee ownership of property and a certain estate and interest in the property. And we are responsible basically for registering all transactions with their property when persons die, when they want to do transfers, when they want to get charges. And that's basically what we are responsible for.
Would it be safe to say that the Lands and Survey Department is very transparent and you have everything? Just other parts of the world, they have so many people who can't they can't get there's so much red tape and stuff like that. But here in the Cayman Islands, we're just smooth sailing.
Definitely. We're a public register. So that means that on the payment of a fee, that you all the transactions regarding land are available to the public. So it's very transparent. It gives persons certainty when they're dealing with property. It's one of the big selling points, I think, as an investment in the property. Persons can come here. They can buy and transact with certainty. They'll know who they're dealing with. And of course, if there are errors or omission, it's a state guaranteed register. So we guarantee and we give you security of tenure to say that this is the person who you are actually transacting business with.
I love it because I did real estate at for a while. So the land register, I mean, the Cereba agents, they use this. I would go to sleep with this thing open at night. And I swear I knew every piece of swampland that exists in the Cayman Islands.
Following on from what Sophia said, I mean, I think really that forms the foundation of the real estate industry here, because it means that I can buy property from you by just filling out a form. and submit it to evaluate a land and survey. We don't have to go through the hopes of making sure you're the owner, the boundaries, and everything else. So it makes the market a lot more transparent, and which sort of is the driver for the success of the real estate market in Cayman.
And you guys are doing a great job over there. Now, can you tell us about the Cayman Land Info System and who are the main customers?
Yeah, that follows on from what we were talking about. As you mentioned, the Cayman Land Info is one that the realtors use a lot of. So it's a geographical information system. So simply what it is a mapping system that has several layers and provides several information. So you have a layer which is for elevations, a layer for planning use, a layer for ownership, a layer for boundaries. And it's a subscription-based service. So we have subscribers like the realtors, the valuation firms, the insurance companies. And on the base of that, they use that information to be able to do the service, like carry out the evaluations. The sales records, which I am quite familiar with, dates back to 1997. So we have all the sales records, how much a property sold, the date it was sold, and who it sold to, back to 1997. And every time a sale happens, is updated within a couple of days. So if I will speak about the land registry, land registry component of Cayman Land Info.
So what Cayman Land Info is, just following up from what Uche is, all of our information, our survey database, our registry database, our evaluation database, all our land information is on one platform. So persons are able, our subscribers are able to get every information about property. They can get sales data, they can get confirmation of ownership, they can get aerial photography. So what it is just one portal where you interact with, and it has a lot of information. We also work very closely with other departments, so like the planning department. So we have our building footprints on Cayman Land Info as well. And there are certain other data. We have places of interest, police stations, gas stations. I mean, we work extensively with the hazard management. We work extensively with the police. So there's a lot of information that is in our Cayman Land Info. And that is available to our subscribers.
Okay. Now, let's talk revenue.
So Mike hasn't touched.
Mike
I was just going to say that
the service section of the
Well, I'm going to talk a bit about Cayman Land Info. It's not a static system. They're always looking at new ways to present data, whether it's analysis or new products that people can use to make their life easier. Now, the survey section of Cayman Land Info, one of the biggest contributors to it is the private sector land surveyors. They do many more properties, surveying-wise, subdivisions than we do. In Grand Cayman, government only really deals with Crown properties, and they're not being sold every day, they're not being looked at every day. So the private sector, we have to give them some credit, or a lot of credit, for the input they have.
Oh, okay. So let's go back to revenue.
Yeah.
How much revenue did the department receive in, let's see, 2022?
2022 was a very, very busy year for us. And as at the last check, we received about $120 million in stamp duty revenue. The previous year, I think it was about $100 million that we received in stamp duty revenue. We processed about 2,800 documents with a total value of $1.2 billion. So it has been a very, very active period within the market at the moment, and we're happy about that because we're contributing our quota to the success of the Cayman Islands.
And I didn't contribute to any of them, unfortunately. No. What are the plans for the Lands and Survey Department moving forward?
As you may be aware, the Deputy Governor has a vision of the civil service becoming a world-class civil service. And in order to do that, we know that we have to improve customer service. At the moment, the volume of work has increased substantially, but our staffing levels have not increased, and that's having an impact on the turnaround times. So what we are working on at the moment, and we started some projects, is to adopt technology in the work we do. And we think that once we adopt technology in the work we do, then we'll be able to do it a lot faster than we're doing now. For example, we now accept credit card payments previously you didn't used to do that. So it means that we're able to bank the money, and we're able to provide an extra service for the customers. And then I'm going to hand over to Sophia, and Sophia is going to speak about the scanning project and the e-conveyance project that she's working on at the moment.
So one of the plans we have is to go towards electronic conveyancing, which means that we're trying to move it to a digital format. So we've gone through a lot of transformation over the last couple of years, from using parchment papers, special paper to do our titles, that we have moved past. We have also moved away from typewriters. Our information now is in a digital database. What we're now moving towards is trying to get away from persons giving us paper, which we're trying to move to electronic conveyance. Currently, our transaction, depending on our volume, can range between 10 to 15 business days for registration. And we're trying to see if we can get those down to mere minutes or mere days in completing our registration. So with the electronic registration, it's just a click of a button. Persons will still be able to complete their forms, but in electronic format, they'll be able to sign electronically, and therefore they will be able to assist us in completing their transaction within mere minutes, really. So that is a dream that we have, and we're moving towards electronic conveyance. So we've made some progress where that is concerned, and we've had consultations, and we've had a proposed draft registry amendments to our laws to enable the electronic registration to proceed.
Wow, you're definitely going to move forward. Thank you, Sophie. Thanks to our sponsors this morning, Cayman Insurance Center and Cayman Medical Supplies. And don't forget, it's Taco Tuesday and Tuka Restaurant on board. They're giving away a gift certificate this morning. You can be that lucky winner. Listen up. That's the trivia this morning is, what does eating black-eyed peas on New Year's Eve represent for the new year? I had black-eyed peas and I didn't know what it meant, but I know now. And I'll give you a hint. When you wish someone a Happy New Year, you generally wish this for them as well. Stay tuned and call us after the 8 o'clock news. Well, not right after the 8 o'clock news, but around 8:15 or so. Call us on 1-800-534-8255, 949-8037, or 949-6990 if you know the answer. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue our discussion.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Some military action took place off the sea during World War II. On land, very little military action took place despite the installation of the U.S. Naval Base in Georgetown. Although they did have regular rounds of duties, the Americans had opportunities to interact with locals when not on duty. Informal parties were held at Petra Plantation, Hislop's Ice Cream Parlor, or the tea shop run by Madeline and Myrtle Ebanks. Reverend George Hicks, a Presbyterian minister, was appointed honorary chaplain. As would be, romance blossomed, as well as including the marriage of Lillian Bodden, daughter of Captain Rail and Chief Warrant Officer Jack Howard. However, tensions did occasionally rise, especially if the young Caymanian women were overly friendly to the Americans. On several occasions, fights between the Caymanian men and American military would break out near the town hall, with the most serious incident taking place in December 1943 when 40 of the Caymanian men were home on leave.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman's historical vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
And for 45 years, we have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center,
specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
And it's the first one for the year. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks to our listeners and our viewers on YouTube. And I think we're also on Facebook soon. Good morning to Susan. Susan, haven't seen you since last year. Happy New Year to all our listeners. Now, in the studio, we have from Lands and Survey, Mr. Obi Ochi. Obi is the Director of Lands and Survey Department, and he's pretty new on the job.
Yes.
6 months?
3 months.
3 months? Congratulations. Congratulations are in order then. And we have Mr. Michael Whiteman, Deputy Director of Lands, and we have Sophia Williams. Sophia is Register of Lands. Good morning again. Now, 50-year celebration. What is the plan for the 50th anniversary celebration? It has to be huge.
Yeah. Sophia is leading the organization, so I'll pass it on to her to give us a breakdown of what the plans are.
We're recognizing the great changes that we've made since we've had all the lands registered in Cayman. So we're doing a full year of celebration, starting, of course, with asking for the Lord's blessings. We're having a church commencement service on the 29th of this month at First Baptist on Crew Road.
Yeah.
So all the members of the public are invited to attend. And then after that, we're really going to go into the community to do some community service. So what we're looking at is to have various town hall meetings in Cayman Brac. So we're starting with Cayman Brac. We'll be in Cayman Brac on February the 16th.
Yeah.
At the
Aston
Rutty Center. Aston Rutty Center. And then after that, we're going to be doing town hall meetings in Grand Cayman. We'll announce all the venues that we will be there. But we're going to be there. We will have some other departments with us as well. And we're going to ask persons to come out with their questions. We will be able to deliver services, answer questions and queries. So we are trying to ensure that we're interacting a lot with our customers and the citizens.
Yeah. And it gives us an opportunity to show our appreciation to the members of the public because for the last 50 years, they've supported the department. So it's a way to go out and say thank you for your support and also celebrate our successes and all the staff, the past and present staff, for all the hard work and dedication that they put in the department. So it's a celebration time, and I think it's just a time to pause, and sort of look back and see what we've achieved.
There's no free food.
There will be free food. More details to come. We're having a customer appreciation. We haven't set the date at the moment, but there'll be a customer appreciation day in the government administration building, but we haven't set out the details. So maybe we'll have an opportunity to come back and flesh it out when we have done that and after we've been to the Brac.
Are you looking for an invite again on the bus?
Pardon?
Are you looking for an invite again on the bus?
I think we've got one, haven't we?
Now, how can persons keep up to date and get more information in the Lands and Survey Department?
So we're happy to announce that since last year, we've been very active on social media. So you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, Lands and Survey CI. And so all of our information will be posted and also on our website. So all of our information will be posted on our social media pages, on our website, and we'll be having a lot of media interaction as well. So we'll make sure we get the information out to the public.
Definitely. Why do I feel as if you're making Miss Sophia the spokesperson for the media person.
She enjoys doing that. She enjoys talking. So that's a comfort zone. And she's good at organizing events. So I delegate to her and she does it. And we're happy. We work best that way.
But we have a wonderful team that I'm working with. And so you'll be hearing from them as well, because as Uchi said, part of the celebration is celebrating our staff. So we'll be introducing some of our staff to members of the public who has been making some great contributions, including persons we have in line for succession planning. And so you'll be hearing not only from me, but you'll be hearing from other persons within the Lands and Survey Department, for sure.
Yeah.
So, key staff within the department. Want to talk about that, baby?
Well, I'll just talk about registry. And then I'll leave Uchi to go through the rest. But we have been actively having plans to do succession planning. So we have one young lady now who's acting deputy registrar, Regina Branks. And we have another young lady who should be starting next month, Jackie Carter. They're both young Caymanians who have recently completed their law degrees. Very proud of them, having coming up through the system. So we are looking to see how best we can promote from within and doing our coaching, mentoring, our leadership programs. So you'll be hearing from our staff. You'll be hearing also, we have some other persons as well who's very instrumental. Judith Witter, who's actually the chairperson for our 50th celebration. And I'll just hand over to Uchi, who can discuss some other persons, or to Mike.
Mike, I want Mike to touch on the trainee land surveyors that we've had in the department, because we're really excited that we're giving young Caymanians an opportunity to train within the department. So, Mike, if you touch on that, and then I'll round.
Yes, I'd like to say that every staff member in Lands and Survey is key, because they all contribute towards the final picture. Within the survey section, we've been hiring from overseas for many decades, and we're able to get one Caymanian about 19 years ago, and that was the only success. His name is Darren Kelly. He's now the chief surveyor. He was appointed January 1st this year. And haven't had much success otherwise until middle of last year, when we advertised for training positions and were able to locate two young Caymanians who were very interested. And they should be going away for schooling in September, and we'll progress from that. We look forward to, hopefully, when they've gone on, to find others to come in. As I think it's a lot of just selling ourselves and letting the public and the schools know what is required.
Part of our 50th celebration, we're going to do a lot of that. We're going to go into schools. So we hope to go into schools, Cayman back, and just tell people what we do, because we do a lot of good things, but I don't think we do a good job in promoting what we do. So that's what we want to do going forward. The Deputy Governor says there are no silent victories, and that's exactly what we want to do. Shout about our victories.
Here's your opportunity, right?
Exactly.
Well, I tell you what, it's been a pleasure having the three of you in the studio. You've been listening to the first segment of the Business Bus this morning. We heard from Mr. Obi Ochi. He's the Director of Lands and Survey Department. Also, Mr. Michael Whiteman. He's Director of Lands. And we have Sophia Williams, Registrar of Lands. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Congratulations on your 50th anniversary. Looking forward to hearing all about it. And like you said, maybe you'll be back in the studio.
Definitely.
Coming up, we'll have the news. But in the meantime, I want to remind you, it's Taco Tuesday. And Taco Tuesday means Tucker Restaurant is giving away a gift certificate. All you have to do is listening up to the trivia I'm going to give you right now, and call and be a winner. What does eating black-eyed peas on New Year's Eve represent for the new year? And a hint, and you can thank Miss Kathy Miller. Kathy put this question together. Kathy, thank you. When you wish someone a happy new year, you generally wish this for them as well. Stay tuned. Susan's got the news. Call on 1-800-534-8255, 949-8037, or 949-6990 if you know the answer.
Thank you, Anita. And studio time now by Foster's is 8 o'clock. At Foster's, you'll always find the biggest specials on the products you love.
Just like Vita Coco Coconut Water 1 liter, only $4.19, save $2. 4-pack Ensure Max Protein Nutrition Shake, $9.99, save $4.90. And Aunt Jackie's Hair Care 15 ounce, only $5.79, save $3.
You'll find even more great specials in-store or online with Foster's Go. Foster's, better prices because we care.
Price is good until 11th January 2023.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. Cayman Airways Limited says the fire truck in Little Cayman is currently out of service, grounding the National Airlines Express flights KX 4624 and 4424. While CAL awaits further updates from the fire service regarding whether or not flights will be able to operate in and out of Little Cayman today, the airline has made tentative contingency plans to shuttle affected passengers safely by boat between Little Cayman and Cayman Brac, where they can also travel on to Grand Cayman. Affected passengers with tickets for travel to or from Little Cayman will be contacted directly with updates using the contact details they provided at the time of booking. Government is awaiting a report from Deloitte as it looks to spitball measures designed to alleviate the country's growing traffic problems.
The hope and goal is to put in a system that is obviously energy efficient as well as cost effective, that we can help alleviate the problem of traffic.
In Parliament at the end of the year, the PAC-led government committed to prioritizing traffic management in 2023 as the country grapples with increasing gridlock at peak times. Mitigation measures may include banning vehicles or even limiting who can and cannot get a driver's license. But before those moves can be considered, Transport Minister the Honourable Kenneth Bryan says the country must have a reliable bus system in place.
So the government at this current moment is waiting for that report from Deloitte. So as soon as that is in, I want to update the country once the caucus and cabinet has looked at the document, see what the recommendations are by this firm. So that's where we are.
Mr. Bryan says that report is expected by the end of January or early next month. And the Health Services Authority is holding its grand opening next week for its new youth-friendly environment, Alex Place. It says you can expect it to be comfortable and kid-friendly, meant to be as a safe haven for adolescents. They can receive expert trauma-informed care as an alternative to the emergency room. Located in the old general practice building at the Cayman Islands Hospital campus, the grand opening will take place on January 18th. In regional news, authorities in Puerto Rico arrested Randy Ortez Acevedo of the popular reggaeton duo Joel and Randy on domestic violence charges after a judge on Monday ruled there was sufficient evidence against the singer. Ortez, who's not required to enter a plea yet, was detained on a $15,000 bond. A publicist did not immediately return a message seeking comment. Prosecutor Anthony Olola said the charges stem from a January 7th incident, but declined to provide further details given that it's a domestic violence case. He added only that Ortiz's mother testified on behalf of the singer before he was charged. Joel and Randy are considered reggaeton pioneers who began their careers 20 years ago. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller.
BBC News with Emily Thomas. China has stopped issuing visas to individuals from South Korea and Japan in retaliation for COVID restrictions imposed on travellers coming directly from China. Beijing says it's discriminatory to single out Chinese travellers. President Zelensky has said Ukraine's army is facing an extremely difficult situation in the eastern town of Soledar amid the continuing battle with Russia in the Donbass. He praised Ukrainian defenders there for their resilience. The UN says Iran is weaponizing the death penalty in order to strike fear into the population. The UN Human Rights Chief said the use of criminal procedures to punish people for taking part in protests amounted to state-sanctioned killing. Figures released by the European Union show last year's summer was the hottest on record. European temperatures had the highest rate of increase of any continent. The EU and NATO have signed an agreement to strengthen their strategic partnership. The head of the European Council said Russia's war against Ukraine had brought the two organisations closer than ever. A suspected warlord from Sierra Leone has appeared in an appeals court in Finland, accused of atrocities in Liberia's civil war. Jabril Masakoi was acquitted by a lower court last year. The Sri Lankan government says it's barely enough revenue to pay salaries and pensions of public servants. All ministries have been ordered to make a 5% reduction in spending. The Japanese authorities have ruled that the man accused of murdering the former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe is fit to stand trial. The suspect underwent 5 months of psychiatric assessments. Djibouti has signed a preliminary agreement with China to build a $1 billion rocket launch site. The project will take 5 years to complete. That's the latest world news from the BBC.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Good morning. Let's take a look now at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 80 degrees. Relative humidity is 75%. The barometric pressure is 30.01 inches and rising. The wind is out of the northeast at 4 knots. Overnight low temperature was 77 degrees. Synopsis indicate moderate winds and seas expected over the Cayman area as a low-pressure system moves over the southeast United States. Radar images show isolated showers in and around the Cayman area moving towards the west. Now, the forecast for today calling for partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers, and temperatures will be in the mid-80s today. Winds will be northeasterly at 10 to 15 knots, and seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. Pretty much the same for tonight, partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of nighttime showers, and temperatures falling to the low 70s tonight. Winds will be northeasterly 10 to 15 knots, Seas will be moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. High tide 11:53, low tide this evening at 6:23, and a high tide again tonight at 11:47. The sun will set this evening at 4 minutes past 6 and will rise tomorrow morning at 2 minutes after 7. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Thursday morning.
Whether it's routine care or highly complex surgery, when it comes to your health, you want the best. Health City has Cayman's most comprehensive range of in-house medical services. Recognized for quality and excellence, Health City brings together expert doctors, the best technology, and the latest techniques to understand your health and ensure you get the care you need. From Camana Bay to East End, you can trust the team at Health City. Health City, world-class healthcare within your reach.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Good morning once again. Let's take a look this time at traffic. Little patience needed this morning if you're coming from the east, as traffic is busy on the Linford Pearson Highway, and also busy traffic coming off of Bobby Thompson Way. And traffic is also busy coming off the Linford Pearson Highway on Agnes Way. And on Cool Road, steady traffic heading to Georgetown. Eastbound traffic on Cool Road is moving along light to moderate. And traffic is flowing moderately from the West Bay 4-way stop. As we look to Godfrey Dixon Way and Eastern Avenue, traffic flowing at a good pace. Into Georgetown on Shedden, we're looking good. Out of Georgetown on Shedden Road, traffic is light to moderate. And coming off of the Estella Tibbetts Highway, steady but flowing traffic. And on Northstown Road, traffic is moderate in both directions. That's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes after 12 o'clock. We'll give you another traffic report. Remember, click it or ticket.
When you're craving something big, something tasty that gives you that lip-smacking satisfaction, something that hits the spot, there is nothing better than a footlong from Subway.
It's pretty tasty.
Filling and full of flavor. Try our new sweet onion steak teriyaki with a twist. Or the classic chicken teriyaki. Top it with green pepper, onions, cheese, and that sweet onion teriyaki sauce, all piled on your favorite artisanal bread. Satisfy that craving with a footlong from Subway.
Fresh, delicious, tasty, meaty.
Let's make it a meal with a drink, chips, and cookies. There is nothing better than a footlong from Subway.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Business Buzz. This is our second segment for this morning. Good morning. I think I lost you there, Sue. Good morning. Welcome back to the Business Buzz. It's 13 minutes after 8 o'clock. This is our Tucker segment, if you want to call it that. Now, before this morning, on the first segment, we told you that the trivia question was, what does eating black-eyed peas on New Year's Eve represent for the new year? And we gave you a hint as well. When you wish someone a happy new year, you generally wish this for them as well. Now, I'm pretty sure we have a caller on the line, but just before we do that, I want to remind you that Tucker Restaurant, two locations, East End and Morgan's Harbor. And today is a taco special. 2-for-1 tacos and margaritas all day long, both locations. Now, if you call and you're the winner, you get a gift certificate. You can use the gift certificate either today or at any time you feel like. Now, they serve up some really good tacos at Tucker. You've got your shrimp. Let's see, you've got your tacos like your peanut chicken, blackened fish, pulled pork, vegetarian, and of course there's coconut shrimp. Sue, do we have a caller on the line? Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, sir? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, Anita. It's prosperity.
You're right on the money. Congratulations. Now, do you eat black-eyed peas, or did you have black-eyed peas this New Year's Eve? This past New Year's Eve?
I have black-eyed peas too.
Okay, and I guess you knew it represented prosperity, right?
Uh-huh.
You do? Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I had black-eyed peas, and I had no idea until this morning.
You know what it is? It's Dave from Rockwell.
Oh, hi, Mr. Dave. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Not too bad.
Now, Mr. Dave, can you stay on the line? Congratulations. And Susan will take your details, okay? And you can pick up your gift certificate for Tucker Restaurant and Bar at any time from Radio Cayman.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Take care, Mr. Dave, and thanks for calling.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So your answer to that was prosperity. Now, Thank you, Tucker Restaurant and Bar, for sponsoring Taco Tuesday right here on Radio Cayman. We do appreciate that, and I'm sure our listener will have fun time over at Tucker. And don't forget, Taco Tuesday today, 2 for 1, margaritas and tacos. Now let's turn our attention to our guests in the studio. In this segment, we highlight proven wealth, and our guest is Simona Watkis. She's a president and CEO of Proven Wealth. Good morning, Simona.
Good morning, Anita. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am great. Thank you so much
Actually,
for
I'm a
having
little
me.
bit hungry now thinking about that.
I know, right?
Black eyed peas and all that. Yeah. I'm hungry, man.
Me too. Thank you so much for having me, and good morning to your listeners as well.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too.
I know it's been, it looks like 2022 has been a short year.
I feel like everything has been consolidated from 2020 up to now. I feel like it's just one big year.
That's a good way to put it. Consolidated. No, Simona, tell us a little bit about yourself and your responsibilities at Proven Wealth.
Sure. I recently joined the Proven team in March of 2022. May of 2022. I was previously living in Barbados, working with another financial institution. So I joined the Proven Wealth team as president and CEO for Cayman, well, we call it Region 1, which includes Cayman, Bermuda, BVI, and Barbados. So just building on the wealth management functions and capabilities, as well as our investment banking across the region. So Proven Wealth is domiciled in Jamaica. That's where our head office is. But we do have quite a bit of a regional presence across the Caribbean region. So it's a group of companies, not just wealth, but we have 3 strategic pillars under which we operate, which is banking and wealth, proven properties, as well as private equity. So these are the 3 main pillars, and Proven Wealth Cayman falls under the wealth portfolio.
Okay. Now, how long you've been in this position?
Since May of 2022.
May of 2022.
Right.
So
right.
you're young. You did say May.
Yes.
I was thinking you said March 1st. So
yes, I did say March 1st,
right.
but that was a mistake. I feel like it's been that long.
Well, so you're working your way through the whole thing. So this is your first media appearance?
Absolutely. I don't know. It took some kicking and screaming, but I'm here.
Well, I'm sure you got some encouragement from Susan.
I sure did. Susan is amazing.
Yeah, she is. She's an awesome producer. She keeps me on my toes too. Yeah, right, Sue? Now, for this year, let's talk about Proven Wealth, wholly and solely. What or who is Proven Wealth?
So
you did allude to some
so
of
it's
it.
We're a part of a larger group. So we have the Proven Group, which is the umbrella company, and then we have Proven Wealth, Proven, and again, as I said, there are 3 strategic pillars on the Proven Group.
Right.
There's banking and wealth, there's proven properties, and there's also the private equity arm of the business. Okay. So banking and wealth, as you know, we've taken over Fidelity Bank, so it's now
Correct.
Proven Bank, which has locations here in Cayman as well as St. Lucia. We have Proven Wealth, which is Jamaica, Cayman, Bermuda, BVI, Barbados, and Proven Properties, which is again in Jamaica as well as Cayman and Barbados, and our private equity firm, which is essentially how Proven started as a private equity entity looking at raising capital and in funding for entrepreneurs as well as medium-sized entities, just raising capital. We have grown significantly, but we still focus on, providing that kind of capital injection for companies that want to grow.
Okay. Now, how is Proven Wealth unique in Cayman?
I think that our uniqueness comes from the fact that we are, one, a wealth management company, but also that we are an investment banking company as well. So while we offer the full suite of wealth management products for those clients who want retirement investments or education planning or just the full service of portfolio planning, we also go a step further in providing capital raises for companies. So any kind of commercial loans that you may be looking at if you want to do a development, or if you're an entrepreneur, a medium-sized entrepreneur that wants working capital facility, we also provide that as well. The fact that we have entities across the Caribbean and we're indigenous to the Caribbean, we can leverage capabilities across the different markets. And I think that in itself is unique, where we can offer services through our sister companies across the different regions. And mind you, we are also listed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange, so that also gives us some levels of transparency for our clients to be able to know what exactly we're doing on a day-to-day basis and seeing our results every quarter that comes out on the exchange.
So now you're in the Cayman Islands.
We are.
How are you finding this?
Me personally?
Yes.
Cayman is awesome. It's close to home. Jamaica is home. So it's close to home. It's easy to go back to. But I find the different nationalities quite interesting. You know, one of the things that I tend to do whenever I go into a restaurant, I'm always intrigued to just ask somebody, so where are you from? You know, it's all different nationalities.
Like I did when you walked in the room, right?
Exactly. Where are you from? That's the first question. But it's nice, you know, and it's pretty close to home, so it makes it easy.
Well, welcome to the Cayman Islands.
Thank you, my dear.
Hope you've enjoyed some Cayman kind so far.
Absolutely.
Now, managing money. I don't have much to manage.
Or so you think.
So I don't have to go looking for an investment bank or whatever. But how do we manage money after the holidays?
Well, you know, I always say to people that Christmas, like your birthday, is only once for the year. So planning is always important, you know, planning in advance for whether it is that you are a gifter or someone that just wants to have an experience, you plan ahead of time. For me, I'm more of an experienced person than I am a gifter. I'm sure my kids wouldn't like to hear me say that, but it's important to plan ahead. Do your budgeting, make a list of the things that you want to purchase for that period, and don't wait until the appointed time to do so, because then things get far more expensive at the closer it gets. So if you plan ahead, you find that it's a lot easier to budget and to put aside those funds needed for the holidays. So you're not left with a major bill during the Christmas time or even after the Christmas period to be having to pay off. So I would say the major tip for me is to plan ahead.
You know, that's easier said than done, right?
I know. It is easier said than done. Absolutely.
Because I'm a last minute person. And as for the records, I'm not a gifter anymore.
Good.
You know, because I think.
So what do you do?
I don't give anything.
I'm going to adopt that approach.
That's why I'm not a gifter, because I think it's an absolute. Through the years, I would make sure everybody got some, and you just couldn't leave somebody out.
Right.
And that's when it came down to you were gifting to everybody, and then you were gifting in December, and you find yourself following December, you're still trying to pay for it.
Still trying to pay the bills.
Pay off your credit card or your debit card, or not debit card, your credit card, right? So I've decided, especially my grandkids, over the years, they don't get anything. They'll get books.
Good.
They'll get books. No toys, they'll get books. Even my daughter, she's 38 now.
Okay.
And she would get books.
She'll get books.
Yeah.
Right, that's fair enough.
She'll tell me what. But planning in advance, I mean, it's like I said, it's easier said than done. But some people do plan in advance. Now, what do people typically spend on Christmas?
All right. I think the average person spends around $1,000 on gifts, and this is also some research that has been done, right? About $1,000 on gifts. So you find that you have, apart from the gifts, you're buying candy, you're buying decorations, because no matter what, some persons never put up their old decorations, so you tend to always be buying more and more decorations, especially those lights that you always have to be wondering which one isn't working, and instead of pulling out the whole set, you end up just buying the new ones, right? And then you have to factor in holiday parties. And if you're the experienced type, you're looking at hotels and airfare travel. So, you know, all of those things have to be factored in. And when you do factor that in, what you find is that you end up with a credit card bill. Again, and I keep stressing on a credit card bill because this is something that after Christmas, generally people always having to face the December, January bill that comes. So you find that you're overspending during Christmas time on decorations, parties, and every party you go into, you need a new dress, and every new dress is going to cost you probably $100. So these are some of the things that people tend to spend on during the Christmas time, I find.
You know, after today, they'll call us Scrooge.
I know. Maybe. I'm sure my kids are already saying that.
No, but it doesn't mean that you won't enjoy Christmas, right?
Absolutely not. Yeah. I mean, I think I enjoy Christmas a lot.
Okay. No, I believe in spending that money fixing, like a lot of people paint their homes or they do refurbishing at Christmas.
True.
So I personally think that money should be spent, wisely.
I agree.
Maybe that's why I don't get much for Christmas.
Well, I don't. I years ago, I used to do the traditional painting of the house and the curtains. And honestly, I completely have stopped that. Just
Why?
for the sake that, I don't know, after it all ends, then what? It's like, for me, it's like you're just doing it for the period and then that's it. And I'm not being a Scrooge or a Grinch. It's just, I just don't see the value in it. But it is tradition for, especially a lot of Jamaicans. It is tradition. So some persons like to follow through with the tradition.
The tradition, right?
Yeah.
If you're just joining us, thank you so much for doing so. You're listening to the Business Buzz. This is the first segment, the first edition for 2023. Want to thank our producer, Miss Susan Watson, for putting this all together. While we're sleeping, she's always working, right, Sue? So coming up, we'll talk a little bit more to Miss Simona Watkins. Watkins. She is the president and CEO of Proven Wealth. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue our discussion. In the meantime, thanks to our sponsors, Cayman Insurance Center and Cayman Medical Supplies.
Cybercrime happens online or through the technology we use every day. Anyone can be a victim of cybercrime, whether you are a young person being bullied or harassed online, or an older person or business who's been scammed out of money or personal data. Cybercrime is an issue that touches all of us. The Cayman Islands government has therefore created an online resource to help keep you cyber safe in an ever-changing world.
In online situations, it is better to be cyber safe than sorry. Learn now to protect yourself against cybercrime. Visit gov.ky/cybersafe.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the people's station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach. Show your Cayman pride this National Heroes Day. Join us in Heroes Square at 9 a.m. on Monday, January 23rd to honor those who have served our country through volunteerism and charitable services. As always, the event is free and open to all. The festivities will also be aired live on Radio Cayman and streamed on Cayman Islands Government YouTube channel.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz. We're speaking with, in the studio, Simona Watkins. She's the president and CEO of Proven Wealth. Good morning again, Simona.
Good morning again.
I hope I didn't chop your name up there. Watkins.
I get it all
I
the
get
time.
it all the
Don't
time,
worry.
right? Watkins.
No problem.
Some people probably think it's a typo.
It is. Most people think it is.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful name.
Thank you.
Watkins. She's the president and CEO of Proven Wealth. Now, Simona, in your position as the president of Proven Wealth, and you're over here in the Cayman Islands, it's fresh. What can customers look forward to in 2023?
Well, we have rebranded so Proven Wealth, when we came in, we had acquired International Financial Planning Limited, IFP. And so the services of IFP was primarily in mutual fund sales. What we have done is rebranded to Proven Wealth, And we have maintained mutual fund sales, but what you can look forward to is an expansion into suite of products from Proven Wealth. We are looking at shorter term investment options for those clients who just don't want to go for a long term, or clients who just want to diversify their portfolio. So outside of retirement planning and education planning, you may just want to have some levels of liquidity, an account that you can earn or maximize some returns on. So those are some of the things that you can look forward to in 2023 from Proven Wealth. New rebranded and additional suite of products.
On the short term, is there a minimum that you can invest?
So the minimum for the short-term investments would start at $10,000 US. For the longer-term investments, however, we do have monthly savings plans that starts investment plans. Let me not call them savings plans. Investment, retirement, and education plans that start as low as $250 a month, and this can go up until, let's say, you are 25 or 30 years old and you want to start planning for retirement. You can take out a 25 year plan and we can start your retirement planning for you. That compounding effect makes it worthwhile, so you can see the returns as you get into your years of retirement. Then you would see it come into fruition. So we look at your retirement plan, we take it very seriously, and you're never too young to start retirement planning. And so for that reason, we started at a very low, affordable $250 per month continuously until you reach the end of the plan cycle.
Okay. Now, say you have a 15-year-old and they want to start some sort of investment. You know, they've worked over Christmas and they earn maybe $350 CI dollars, and they want to put in a fixed. The idea is to put in a fixed deposit, but how can Proven Wealth generate further funds for this $350?
Okay, so for a child at 15 years old, this is not an continuous income that they're going to be earning.
Right.
The beauty about Proven Wealth is that we're part of a larger group, so we do have our partner, our sister company, Proven Bank. And so I would always encourage any young person, start off by taking out your first bank account. Start there by your savings, continuous savings. And then what we do is that we can always say, okay, once you have amassed a certain amount and start earning your own income, once you get into the working world, then we look at starting your investment plans. Or, as the parent, you could also start an education plan for this child, even at 15 years old, because, by the time they're like 19, 20, they're going to be into their college years. You can start that plan for that child and investing on their behalf for the time that they get to college. If they reach the college stage and you decide, you know what, let me just hand it over to them, they can continue it for retirement planning. So start off with our savings account with a bank, and we transition into the wealth management space thereafter.
I love that. I love it. I just love it. No, Simona, for this year, what would you say are your top 5 smart money habits to adopt for 2023?
All right. So the new year is always an excellent opportunity for you to review your financial position, right? In January, everybody takes out their vision boards and they start to put together all their plans. I would say top 5 for me, set some goals. Know what you want to accomplish within that year, whether it be, do I want to start investing more? Do I want to go back to school? Do I want to buy a house? Set these goals. And while you set those goals, start the budgeting process. Now, this is where Proven Wealth also comes in, because we are financial planners, so we can assist you in providing you with the assistance in creating your budget for whatever goals that you have in mind. A next one for me would be to invest regularly. So, I just spoke about, starting with $250. It's important to continuously be investing. So again, Proven Wealth offers long-term investments, short-term investments, but the important thing is to maintain consistency and investing on a regular basis. Monitor your credit. We spoke about credit cards before. Credit cards have very, very high interest rates when they're not paid off. So it's important for you to always be mindful that once you use a credit card, you also have the wherewithal to pay it back. Otherwise, you'll be paying some very high interest, and it erodes your investments once you do that. I know you said 5. I think I have just one more, just to make sure that you have liquidity, at least up to 6 months liquidity, because you want to ensure that you're planning for any unexpected events that could happen. You don't want to have to go into your investments. You have some levels of cash flow available. So those, I think, I don't know if you call them smart, but they're certainly my tips for the new year.
I think they're awesome. They're awesome tips because, I mean, first of all, if you don't set any goals, you won't get anywhere.
Agreed.
You know, and while setting those goals, you need to budget. You can't set goals if you don't. You know, my mom would say, "Can't put your hand where you don't put your hat where your hand can't reach it."
It's true.
Investing regularly, that's a good one as well. You know, sometimes you have so much money and then not me, but you know, people have money and don't know what to do with it. You know, and you buy all sorts of nonsense, and rather when you can, you know, channel your funds somewhere else and invest. And
it takes a certain amount of discipline, but once you start, it's just like any other habit. You know, going to the gym, eating properly. It's a habit that you form. Investing is the same thing. Just create that habit, and you find that once you start doing it and you form the habit, it becomes easier and easier each time.
Some people would say, no, unless I'll wait until I have $3,000 or $5,000 to.
Yeah, and sometimes if you wait, you might never have it. So it's best if you just start small and you can increase as you go along.
That's right.
Yeah.
And liquidity. You're right about those moments that would pop up and you'll need cash.
Absolutely.
You know?
And they happen. It happens to everyone.
And money to your credit.
Yes.
Now, credit cards. You know, a lot of people think because I have a credit card, I have money.
Yes,
you know.
And my 10-year-old will say to me, if I say to him, no, I'm not buying something, he says, but you have a credit card, Mom, just buy it. And I said, you know what? It's a teachable moment. I said, no, son, because you have to pay it back. And you have to have money in order to pay it back. So, you know, just trying to even explain that to him, he gets confused. He doesn't understand. And why bother having a credit card? But a credit card is not a bad thing. It's just the management of it that can cause an issue if it's not done properly.
That's right.
Right.
Oh, how can we plan now to meet those goals financially?
All right. So one of the things I would say is buy financial products that you can understand. And by understanding, I mean by getting the right financial advice. Once you are going into a financial institution to do some investments, it's important that you know every aspect of the investment. And I say every aspect, not just the great side of it in terms of this is the returns that you're going to be making, but what are the fees involved in having this investment? Because every investment comes with some levels of fees. If you're not getting fees, it means that you're not getting returns. So it's important for you to understand the financial product that you're buying into. To also meet these goals, I would say know yourself well and play in your own lane. And I say this because you want to be able to ignore some external factors. Everything, they're always going to be buzz around the place, whether it be Bitcoin, whether it be NFTs, all different kind of things. You have to decide and know yourself enough. Are you going to take up your nest egg and invest in it in cryptocurrency because somebody else is doing it? You may not have the wherewithal to do that. So therefore, you need to understand and know yourself well enough so that you know what you're investing in. You know, we talk about buying things for Christmas time, the curtains and so forth. But sometimes let's apply the 30-day principle. Let's pass a dress in the window. You see it, you love it. You say, you know what, I have to have that dress. Pass it for 30 days. And what you realize, every day it becomes less and less a need for you. And after that 30 days, you realize, do I really need this? No, I don't. Could I put my money to better use? I'm absolutely sure I can.
Can we do 10 days?
We can try. But I'd say, you know, the 30-day rule of purchasing is something that if we apply it to ourselves, you can really realize that it's not that big a need. And to also meet your goals financially, I would say mind the big three. We spoke about them before. We touched on them. Your debt reduction, ensuring that you're managing your debt, ensure that you're maximizing on your retirement contribution. So if it is that your pension contribution, say you can go up to 10%, maximize it. Go to the 10%. as well as the liquidity that we mentioned before, having that 6 to 12 months, if you can, of liquidity in order to meet your financial goals.
Now, 6 to 12 months of liquidity, is that very important?
I would say it's important at least for 6 months.
Okay.
I mean, know your lifestyle. And I would say if it is that, whatever it is that you generally live on a monthly basis, have that set aside, up to 6 months of that set aside, just in case something happens. Because one of the things you don't want to do, you don't want to go to the bank to break your fixed deposit. You don't want to break any kind of your investments, whether it be your repurchase agreements or any other kind of short-term or long-term investments. You try to avoid any interruptions there. So when you have cash, it is always best for you to be able to have at least 6 to 12 months. 12 months is a lot, but for the most part, at least 6 months in liquidity available to you.
Do you practice a lot of this, Simona?
I try. I really try. I think I've done a pretty good job at it. I think so. And it's something that I find that I'm trying to, and I talk about my children a lot. I have 3 boys, and I try to encourage them. Not that they all listen, but I try to encourage them.
You can try.
I can try to encourage them to teach them about investing as well. Earning as well. How do you earn something? You're not just, it's not just going to come by. You have to figure out how you're going to earn it. So, and it's just my little way of teaching them about some financial planning at a very early stage. And this is what I would encourage a lot of parents to do, because it's not necessarily taught in schools, especially at a young stage. And I do think it's important to start having that conversation with your children to help them to understand the importance of money, but also the management of it as well.
The value of it.
Yeah.
I think the only time the children start to value money is when they actually earn it themselves.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, it's mommy's money or daddy's money or grandma's money.
Yes.
They're just going to spend.
Yeah.
But
so we have to teach them the value of it very early. Yeah.
Good job on that.
Thanks.
If you're just joining us, you're listening to the Business Buzz. We're speaking with Ms. Simona Watkis. She's the president and CEO of Proven Wealth. And she's a female in a position like this. How difficult is this for you, Simone, as a female?
I don't know if I'd say it's difficult. I mean, it is. I do have a great support system in my boss and my directors. It's so funny, they were here all on island yesterday, and we were having a chat, and I really commend them for how they operate, within the company and the support that they provide. So I guess, in this world, yes, it's typically a lot of men, but I guess I've been cushioned and I'm grateful for it. I do have an awesome support system with the Proven Group. So,
and you're pretty young too.
I am.
And on that note, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue our discussion with Ms. Simona Watkis, President and CEO of Proven Wealth.
Homeowners, protecting your family and property is crucial during the season, and you should always assess insurance needs long before a storm makes landfall. Most insurers won't issue policies when a storm is imminent. Cayman Insurance Center's team of professionals can help owners like you find the most comprehensive coverage and competitive rates. Call Michael Webster today at 925-5433 or Denise Brown at 814-7229. Don't take chances with your family's future or your valuable assets. Call Michael and Denise today at Cayman Insurance Center.
Radio Cayman Super Jam Show, the #1 drive time entertainment show on your radio. Enjoy your mix of pop, hip-hop, dancehall, urban gospel. The Super Jam Show is brought to you by these kind sponsors.
The Cayman Islands Football Association, CIFA, building a better future for Cayman football.
Cayman Insurance Center.
Don't take chances with your family's future or your valuable assets. Call me today, Michael Webster, at 925-5433.
UWI Open Campus, on-site, online, and on demand.
Visit open.uwi.edu. Call them today at 946-8322.
Super Jam.
Also brought to you by Superior Auto Center. Do it right the first time with Superior Auto.
949-9570
or 525-9571.
Superior Auto. They keep your car in tune.
Super Jam.
Also brought to you by
The Yum School Lunch Program, now available at selected private and public schools across Grand Cayman.
The #1 drive time entertainment show on your radio.
Super Jam.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
On a daily basis, making it easy to connect with you, our listeners. Add us to WhatsApp today, 925-3261. That's 925-3261.
Radio Cayman.
Send a text or voice note.
Can I send a request, please?
You don't really have to ask us. Just send a request.
This is a shout out to my ex.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
It's another day, another dollar. I just wanted to say that. And if you just joining us, this is the Business Buzz. This is our second and final segment for today, our first edition for 2023. I'm excited. We've got lots and lots of great programs lined up for you. Susan's got it all lined up, right, Sue? She says, yes, I got a thumbs up on that one. And we're going to take you through the year, and hopefully you'll join us in the studio at some time. If you have a business, you call Susan or myself, and we'll get you on the air. And I'm pretty sure that Proven Wealth called up the Business Buzz. So this morning we have sitting with me Ms. Simona Waikis. Simona is the president and CEO of Proven Wealth. Simona, before we let you go this morning, I know you have a busy day planned ahead of you, but you're the president and CEO, so you can take your time, right?
I wish I could. That doesn't.
We can go have coffee. You know. No, I'm just kidding. Talking about setting financial goals and stuff like that. What is the best, or let's put it this way: how to best give money for 2023 to help our loved ones?
All right. So earlier you spoke about buying books for your grandchildren, and everybody gets books. This is where I'm going to help out the grandchildren now. Can you start an education plan for the grandchildren instead?
I never thought about that.
I'm sure they're tired of books now.
Yeah, I am.
But
and they can get it online on their Kindle.
Absolutely.
They go online and they get
it.
Yes,
start it for them.
That's a good idea.
So I would say one of the best things that we can do, especially for our children and grandchildren, start them off with an education plan, and most importantly, just teaching them about the results of these plans, about the money. My 17-year-old, he loves to talk about the stock market, and so every time he says, "Oh, can I buy a new Nike sneakers?" I said, "Why don't you buy some stocks in Nike instead?" And so we start the conversation there.
Good.
And he's like, "What are you talking about, Mom?" And I said, we sit down and we talk about how to go about buying stocks, whether it be on the local market or the international market. Proven Wealth being listed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange, we're also brokers. We do facilitate purchasing of shares on the exchange. So those are some of the things that we can start doing with our children. Other gifts that we can look at is ensuring that we have a gift in ourselves, paying ourselves first. Every month we pay ourselves first by investing. So apply that concept to yourself and saying, okay, you know what? I want to be able to retire at a certain lifestyle, right? I want to be able to maintain what I'm doing and travel some more. So always plan ahead and always just pay yourself first. And importantly, managing that budget that you set down every single month for yourself and just keeping to it. Lastly, I would say gifting yourself is also about kind of, sometimes, I don't want to use the word selfish to yourself, but apply a little bit of care to yourself in terms of, think about sometimes all that food you have in the cupboard and still going out to buy food to eat. Call it a financial fasting then. You look in the cupboard, you see all these things in the cupboard. Think about what are some of the different ways that you can prepare meals and get it exciting, because what you find is that you're eating out a lot, you're spending more money unnecessarily. Not to say you shouldn't, but not as often as some of us do. So I would say those are some of the small tips in terms of gifting yourself as well as your loved ones in 2023.
You know, some of the restaurant owners are, they're probably listening and thinking, oh man.
Listen, I know I've only lived in Cayman for 6 months, and I know every single restaurant in Cayman. I do believe it's nice to go out, but there are times when you have to take a step back and say, okay, what are my goals? Let me prioritize. And instead of eating out 3 times for the month, let me do it 2 times for the month.
I know someone who brought back their lunch for years, for at least 6 years. No vacation, brought back lunches, and guess what? She was able to pay down, put a deposit down for her first apartment.
Awesome. Yeah. No, I'm
with
not,
some help.
I'm going to tell you that I am a big
Mm-hmm.
vacationer. Like, I love to vacation. So maybe that's one of my challenges that I need to start to, but I plan ahead. Long in
well,
advance.
you can invest in, like you tell your son, you can invest in Virgin Atlantic.
True. That's a good one. True. That's true.
You can invest, put some of that, buy some stocks in,
I know, right?
in WestJet.
Exactly. True.
So you practice what you preach, right?
I absolutely have to. They keep you on the toes, boy.
I'm just kidding. No, Simona, before I let you go, because I know you have a busy morning, what would you like to leave with our listeners this morning?
Well, first, thank you very much for having me on. I hope that I have given some information that can be useful in terms of managing your financing, setting your goals. I would love the opportunity for your listeners to engage with Proven Wealth. I mean, we are located off West Bay Road, right at the Fidelity Financial Center. We can be reached at our weareproven.com or PWLCM at weareproven.com. So these are the ways that you can reach us. You can call us at 769-5352. And we'd be more than happy to start your financial planning with you and looking at any kind of financial goals that you may have and help with the budgeting process. So, and also to introduce the other services that we may have across the region that we do.
Okay. Well, looking forward to having you here on the island and doing your thing.
Absolutely.
Hopefully we'll see you back in the studio at some time.
Hopefully. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
Oh, come on.
It was awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
You're with me. And Susan.
Yes, Susan is awesome.
Simona, I want to say thank you so much for sitting with us this morning and talking, just giving us those pointers and also telling us about Proven Wealth.
Thank you.
We wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
And hopefully 2023 will be not as consolidated as the past few years.
Yes.
We're not going to, 2023 is going to be on its own. It's going to be on its own.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I want to thank you're very welcome. Thanks to our sponsors this morning of the Buzz, Cayman Insurance Center and Cayman Medical Supplies. We couldn't do this without your assistance. Thanks to our producer also, Miss Susan Watson. Thank you, Susan. First one for the new year. We're looking forward to a whole lot more for 2023. Management and staff for Radio Cayman. Happy New Year, and our listeners, our viewers as well. And of course, our guests in the studio. I want to say a big thank you to Tucker Restaurant and Bar for their Taco Tuesday here on The Buzz. And in case you missed that trip, you could Dave Smith was the winner this morning. Mr. Dave, thank you so much. Good morning to you and Miss Lynn. In case you missed that trivia, I want to run it by you because I've got a couple of minutes left. The trivia was, what does eating black-eyed peas on New Year's Eve represent for the new year? And the answer was prosperity. On that note, we are going to leave you until Thursday, January 12th, when we bring another Business Buzz. In the meantime, please stay safe. Have a wonderful day. From me, your host, Anita Can. Goodbye.
The Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies. Call them at 949-6211. And Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years in the Cayman Islands, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. And 345 Equipment, quality machinery, parts, and repair services for all of your construction equipment needs. Call 525-0021 or email info@345equipment.ky.
46 years.
3 beloved isles. 1 beloved station. Radio Cayman.
The voice.
The heart. The soul of the Cayman Islands.